Awesome. Yeah, let's give it up. Come on. Ovid and Sammer. We just showed up, Sammer. Well, we have a prize for you. A prize? What am I talking about? A prize? I'm going to edit this out. And also Ovid, on behalf of the sponsors, NDDF, the board, and the entire gang, thank you so much for your words of wisdom, and thank you so much for being here. Sammer said he did some work in Mexico, and I spent some time in Mexico as a tourist. Yeah. And I'm brown, so I fit it. And I was in Los Cabos, walking down the street. There's a guy sitting there selling some cohiba with the smoke. And he goes like he's smoking, he's drinking, and he's sitting on the streets, kind of tucked into the corner somewhere and walking. He goes like this. And I look at him and I look at him, and something amazing happened. We did the whole nod, he did the nod, and I'm like, dude, come on, I'm home. I'm home. And I went, amigo, hola amigo. That's all I know. Amigo. Hola. Amigo. And then he said something that really I felt like home. I thought you were my cousin. Like, oh. I like to fit it. So I said, there you go. I'd really love to have a Mexican name. I'd like you to give me a Mexican name. Amigo, I will name you after my cousin. His name is Pancho. I'm like, so my name is Pancho. I like that. I like it. It's kind of like poncho, kind of like raincoat. But I'm okay with Pancho. What about the last name? He goes, amigo, I'm going to name you after the weather. It's hot. It's very hot. I'm going to name you Pancho Caliente. He's hot Pancho. And it's fitting because when you look at that screen, I look like I'm always sweating. I got some serious T-zone issues. Many of the ladies have the little paper things that kind of take a I really, really love some of the paper that helped me. And when Summer was up here, he was kind of talking about his work in Mexico. It just kind of brought me back. And you can tell he's a rich guy because he can stand up in front of a bunch of Indians and swear. I guess the bounty place would say he's got goose balls. Got some guys. But that was a great speech from both of them. Sometimes you wonder if people would fit in, and Owen fits in anywhere, but I think Owen, you made a good call by having Sammer here. So let's thank them one more time. It's time to give away some awards. Are we ready? First thing off the hop, I would like everybody to hold your applause until the end of the evening. What is this, a convocation? Huh? What is this? What is this? No. We're ready to go wild. I want to hear some duck calls. I want to hear some goose calls. I want to hear some moose calls. Do it again. Donald Duck's in the house. Let's get wild, man. Like, let's not hold back. Let's get a little crazy. Let's feel the vibe, and let's have every single recipient tonight feel absolutely incredible, because that's what they are. So we have our very first award tonight. Our very first award tonight is the Partnership of the Year. I would like to call upon the presenter of this award, the chair of the Nishnawbe Aski Nation Development Fund, Arlene Young. One more time for Arlene! The recipient this evening. Oh, come on, pressure's on now. Come on. The recipient this evening. I got a bio. So I'm going to read bio and say really loud who the recipient is. And you go crazy. Whenever you want a warm and clean accommodation with home-cooked meals and a friendly atmosphere in Sandy Lake First Nation, you should contact Joseph and Linda Fiddler, proprietors of the Sandy Lake Motel. Yo, yo! Keep it up. Joseph and Linda Fiddler are the epitome of a perfect partnership. They are husband and wife team and parents of 3 adult children that all help provide top-notch service at the motel. This active partnership has successfully operated the Sandy Lake Motel since 1995. That is good stuff. 3 people agree. And as a result, they have not had to request any additional financing since opening, and have been an ideal business model for on-reserve entrepreneurship. I don't agree, also for off-reserve entrepreneurship. In my humble opinion, who agrees? Come on. Prior to starting up the Sandy Lake Motel with his wife by his side, Joseph had been employed by the Sandy Lake First Nation in several positions. Through his various roles with the First Nation, he was able to accumulate a vast amount of valuable experience that has helped propel him in the business operations. Linda is hands-on, and anyone who has raised children knows that caring for 3 children is no easy task. One that needs astute management and organizational skills in order to run a good household. It isn't hard to tell that with diverse skills, coupled with their enthusiasm and great chemistry, is a part of the reason for the success of the Sandy Lake Motel. In November 2010, Joseph and Linda acquired the bunkhouse next door to the motel from Sandy Lake First Nation, thereby expanding their operations. The bunkhouse, now renamed the Annex, is primarily used to house contractors working in the community. Coming in 2012. That doesn't make sense. Oh, coming in 2012. Okay. I think this is written in 2010. Joseph and Linda will be expanding their accommodation offerings to the guests. Construction is set to begin in an 8-unit motel that will provide guests with private suites and washrooms. And even though their motel is expanding, Joseph and Linda will be there to greet their guests, offering the same customer-first service they have built their reputation on. The expansion of the 8-room building, which boasts private rooms, which they call the addition, the Sandy Lake Suites. Let's have a huge 24th anniversary edition of the Business Awards for our very first award this evening, Sandy Lake Motel!
sing? Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here, especially after Uwe and his partner. And it's, I'd like to say thank you to a few people, especially my partner since 1971. And as you heard, we've been in business since July the 1st, 1995. And there's other people that I need to really thank: my children and my grandchildren. You know, a few years back in our anniversary, Linda sent me a note or a card. It said, thank you for the 40-some years, I forget how many, after 40 years. And thank you for the 2 children. And most of all, thank you for your patience. And every now and then people ask us, how do you get along as a partner in business? You know, like in everything that you do, it takes work, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of sacrifice, and you have to be committed to it. And that's what we try to do in both our partnership and in our relationship. And we try so hard to bring up our children well, you know, to respect God, to love God, and to help other people. And I'd like to say thank you to different organizations. The Sandy Lake First Nations helped us out, ABC, the Northern Ontario Heritage, NADF, and especially I would like to thank, I don't think he's here, Charlton. He's been a lot of help to our business and in recommending and advising, and like we tell him what we want and he helped us get it. You know, it's been a good run. Like since 1991 or 1971. And, I'm getting nervous here. And since 1995. Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely beautiful Sandy Lake Motel. Come on, give it up one more time. We're going to have all the winners at some point to head out over here and around this wall over here. There's the NADF signage. We're going to get you to take pictures there. So at some point, Sandy Lake Motel, we're going to have you head over that way. Take some shots, okay? All right? Recapturing the magic together. Wonderful. Congratulations again. That was really heartfelt. I'd now like to call upon to present the Corporation of the Year, sponsored by Ontario Power Generation. I'd like to call upon Aaron Delpino. Aaron.
Tough act to follow. Anybody else want to go second? So Ontario Power Generation is once again proud and pleased to be here. It's our 9th year sponsoring this event, and we're pleased to announce the Corporation of the Year award goes to Kitchener Mekusib Inanewig Telecom Center Incorporated. Kitchener-Mekoosa-Inunuig Telecom Center was incorporated in April of 2004 as a big business venture under KI Economic Development to provide telecommunication needs to the community. Since its inception, KI Telecom Inc. has expanded its services to include the following: cable television, comprising of 48 mainstream channels, including one channel for local programming and broadcasting, one channel for strictly local announcements, and one channel dedicated to the KI Chief and Council meetings. Local programming provides historical and educational material for youth, particularly related to the cultural ways of life of Indigenous people. Video recordings are made related to hunting, fishing, and trapping, including a how-to in properly skinning game and preparing traditional foods for consumption. Second, internet services. Along with provisions of supplies and equipment associated with technology, recently upgraded the internet equipment to accommodate the fiber optic cable systems, providing the community with access to the World Wide Web. And third, cell phone system, including providing cell phones and cell phone cards for sale. The business provides full-time employment for 3 people and 1 part-time position, including a summer student. KI Telecom Inc. contributes to community events, including being a major contributor for the Homecoming 2014, supporting local fundraisers, and contributing to spiritual events such as summer camp meetings, gospel jamborees, and community gatherings. KI Telecom Center is presently looking at the possibility of expanding its services and has recently completed a feasibility study and business plan to explore these additional services. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, representing KI Telecom, Bruce Sagakeep, KI Economic Development Manager. Bruce.
Bonjour, Roger. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Food was good. I'd like to acknowledge NADF for providing us a loan. I had the opportunity of working with, geez, that name just slipped my mind. There was a lady that used to work, I think she still works over there at NADF. My apologies. Anyway, I'd like to acknowledge NADF for providing us a loan to do more expansion on our telecommunications center in KI. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Chief Donnie Morris for giving us the direction when we got hired back in 2010 to try and restructure our organization and solidify our telecommunication system. I think we're on the right path. We're still looking for ways to improve our system. I'd like to acknowledge the staff that I work with, my former assistant who got seconded to another position, and also to the current finance person, Anne-Marie and Chris and William. Thank you very much for helping me out. I hope we can move forward together with all the resources in front of us. So, and most of all, I want to acknowledge the people of KI, our customers, our clientele, for providing the support and ensuring that we function as a business. Thank you very much.
Come on, let's give it up nice and loud. Come on, let's go! This is big
big time, man. KI, Telecom. Okay, here we go. Where are we at here? Number 3, huh? Okay. To present the Building Communities of the Year Award, I'd like to call upon Director, Travis? Director? Pardon? Chief and Council. Nigani Investment Management, we thank you for your sponsorship. I'd like to call upon Director Travis Busno. Travis.
We've been rehearsing this for about 2 minutes now, so don't mind if we're a little disorganized. Stan, thanks again for bringing all the energy and putting a lot of pressure on the rest of us. I asked him to tone it down a bit, but he doesn't know how, so he just tones it up. But anyway, before I mention the recipient of this award, I want to mention about Stan, because I know the speakers and stuff, the people who MC these events, they don't get as much credit as they deserve, but I've met Stan for about 10 years ago, and he's been doing this all across the country. He's absolutely phenomenal, high energy and great spirit, and I've probably been in the best mood that I've been in since my second child, I guess, but I'm kidding. No, he's just a great man. Anyway, thanks, Dan. So the Building Communities Award goes to Derek Chum. He's the CEO of Moose Cree Group of Companies. In the early 80s, the Moose Band Development Corporation was incorporated after several years of Moose Cree First Nation attempting to develop an economic arm. So the Moose Cree Group of Companies was developed, and they initially started as a small company with little funds, and they began to undertake some projects within the community. The corporation, after focusing on the local economic opportunities, recognized that in order to prosper and move forward, they would have to seek other business ventures. So in 2003, they acquired CS Enterprises from a local logging contractor, and CS Enterprises was a private company. Subsequent to the acquisition, CS Enterprises, the company saw another opportunity to get into tourism. So what they did was that they bought Kasagami Lake Lodge, which is a remote fly-in lodge, and from there they grew some more and bought Cochrane Air Services. And by purchasing Cochrane Air Services, it allowed them to service their various outpost camps. But most recently, in 2013, Cochrane Air Service acquired an additional 11 locations from a competing outfitter, making Cochrane Air Service the largest remote tourism outfitter in North America. They cater more than 600 customers. I'm not done yet. They just keep going. So grab a coffee. In 2010, Moose Band Development Corporation, through its subsidiary CS Enterprises, entered into discussions to acquire the Woodlands operations from Resolute Forest Products. In June 2010, under the newly formed company called Three Nations Lodging, the first forestry contract was signed. Today, Three Nations Lodging, the backbone of the corporation, is considered the primary supplier of round wood to Tembec Sawmill in Cochrane, Ontario, delivering in excess of 250,000 square meters of wood. In 2014, after more than 30 years, Moose Cree First Nation and the corporation amended its relationship to one of a limited partnership, and the name changed from Moose Band Development Corporation to what is now known as Moose Cree Group of Companies Limited Partnership. Some 25 years after its inception, Moose Band Development Corporation has grown to becoming one of the largest and best logging contractors in the region, with an experienced workforce and staff. The Moose Cree Group of Companies has over the course of the past year provided community benefits in several different areas, from forestry training programs, summer student programs, donations to various events within and outside of the community, and employment opportunities for members of Moose Cree First Nation, as well as non-members of the community as well. So with that, I'd like to call up Derek Chum to receive the prestigious award.
These are mine.
All right. Thank you, Travis. Thank you to NADF, the board of NADF, Brian Davey, and the rest of the NADF staff. I want to thank the management of the Moose Cree Group of Companies, our CEO, Rick Poulin, our finance director, our operations manager, and our staff in Moosonee and Moose Factory in Cochrane. I also want to thank my fellow board members, our shareholder, the Moose Cree First Nation, and our partners, clients, and customers. This has been a great year for us, and we look forward to growing our business further now that we have in place a solid, disciplined management team and build upon last year's success. Last year, we had our most profitable year ever. We cut the most wood ever. We had our most visitors ever to our fly-in camps, and the trajectory is only going up. We also look forward to hiring more Moose Cree members and to make the Moose Cree Group of Companies a desirable place for Moose Cree members to build their careers. Thank you very much again for this award.
Moose Cree First Nation. I'm a terrible shot. Off to our next award. I'd like to call upon RBC, and thank you so much, RBC, for your sponsorship. And of course, this award is the New Business of the Year. I'd like to call upon Herb Zobel. Herb.
Thank you so much. This is
RBC would like to thank NADF for again having the opportunity to work with you this year in the business awards. The New Business of the Year goes to Stanley Bluecoat from Sunset Lodge's Bed and Breakfast. Sunset Lodge is now in its 4th year of operation. The company started with the intention of helping to address Kitchinugit-May-Kusub's shortfall with accommodation. 2011, Stanley proposed an adventure to build a 3-bedroom lodge accommodation building in the back of the community. The project started with the support of Kitchinugit-Kusub, Inigwig's creditors, lenders, and with a heavy investment from Stanley. The company jumped into the unknown where others had mostly failed in the past. Business went so well with the 3-bedroom Sunset Lodge the first 2 years that Stanley dreamed to seek funding for another building. And so with the help of local entrepreneurs, outside technical expertise and engineering, the dream was drafted on paper. Originally thinking was that the project might take a long period to realize. However, after submitting requests for grants, applications to creditors and lenders, and with surety of money by the proponent, the project was realized within 1 year from start to finish. In 2013, Stanley opened a 6-room building to the public, in addition to his other one. In 2014, extreme hard work and personality to match, Mr. Stanley Bluecoat, Sunset Lodges, has received acclaimed review, and is the only current accommodation provided to KI. Sunset Lodges Bed and Breakfast has provided sincere accommodations to many visiting VIPs over the past 4 years. Most recently, Sunset Lodge's bed and breakfast VIP guest list included a royal visit, the Countess of Wessex, wife of Prince Edward, who was the youngest son of the Queen and Prince Philip, making a highly unusual 2-day visit to the community. This was the first royal visit since its treaty was signed in 1929. I'd like to congratulate and call up Stanley Bluecoat.
Good evening, amigos. When I first started sharing my house with others who had business in KI, I never thought I would hosting a royal visit, which is probably once in a lifetime opportunity, hosting the Premier of Ontario when Premier Kathleen Wynne came along with the royal visit. It was very first time provincial premier ever set foot in KI. I also hosted the Governor General's wife and also the Lieutenant Governor's wife. I also hosted the journalists, film crews, law enforcement, and others. There had been all kinds of people staying there, and I'm meeting and getting to know a lot of people from across Canada and different parts of the world. I didn't think that I would be getting into a bed and breakfast business. I learned that it requires long hours, long hard work, patience, determination to ensure success. Many times I had to stay in my cabin. When my first house was filled with guests, I realized I required an additional building so I could fill out the application. So Nishnawbe Aski Development Fund, NADF, to help me buy materials for another accommodation unit. I would like to acknowledge NADF for their support and approval for my application, enable me to get another house with additional 6 units. Today, with the support of NADF, I have two houses, 9-bedroom units, which have become a home away from home for a lot of visitors who come to stay at the Sunset Lodge. My guest has not only been royalty like Sophie Bryan-Jones, the Duchess of Wessex, or Kathleen Wynne, the Premier of Ontario. It has included other distinguished guests like our Master of Ceremonies, Bannock, Stan Wesley. I would like to thank you for honoring me tonight this award and encourage you to take a leap, faith, and start businesses in our communities. With great humbleness, I thank you. Amigos.
blue coat. Couldn't have bought a blue suit, eh? What he didn't tell you is the time I stayed there and he made moose stew and dumplings. And then he said, when it's ready, just eat. I ate it all. I ate it all. I didn't even keep anything from. I'm sorry, Stanley. It was that good. It was that good. That day, it was a bed and dinner. So thank you. I still very, very thank you for that. Very, very good. Not every guest is getting that. Not every guest. Just me. Just Banuk. Just Banuk. Because I'm deadly. That's why. Because I'm deadly. That means good. If you don't. That means good. That means good. Stanley, once again, congratulations. You're doing some great work up there. Congratulations. We have our next award, and the next award is sponsored, and thank you again, sponsors. From the Ministry of Northern Development and Mines, I'd like to call upon the presenter, Peter Hines. Peter.
And Stan, when I grow up, I want your hair. You can't pay for hair like that, I tell you. And thank you, Stan, for calling me up to the podium. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Hintz. I'm a senior policy advisor with the Ministry of Northern Development and Mines. I'm here on behalf of our director of the Ontario Geological Survey, Andy Fion, who has presented this award for several years, but because of eye surgery, he couldn't fly over 10 feet. And as such, couldn't get here from Sudbury. It is a great pleasure for M&D&M to present again this year the Youth Entrepreneur of the Year Award. It's a special award for our ministry. During the course of our collaboration discussions and engagements with communities, First Nations people, and organizations, we hear over and over from the communities how important the youth are. They are our future. This award is one important way it recognizes to inspire or to recognize and inspire the youth who choose to pursue their business in support of their communities, their families, and their individual futures. So I'm going to invite Matthew up here so that as I read the citation, your focus is on him and I'm just a talking head then. So Matthew, come on up. Matthew Gladue is a member of the Sandpoint First Nation. Matthew's been employed in carpentry for 10 years and became a certified Red Seal journeyman carpenter 5 years ago. At the young age of 21, Matthew relocated to Calgary to seek employment and eventually found a job framing houses. This was the start of his career in carpentry. After dedicating many hours in the residential carpentry industry, Matthew jumped at the opportunity to work in industrial carpentry on the Jackfish project in northern Alberta. There he applied his learned skills and acquired new skills of the trade. Upon completing that project, Matthew relocated to Canmore, Alberta, and there he helped frame the beautiful Spring Creek Mountain Village condos in the Rocky Mountains, acquiring commercial carpentry skill. And if you go online, take a look at those, you'd love them, and amazing work, amazing work. After completing the condos, Matthew returned to Calgary and enrolled with the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology and was successful in obtaining his certification as a Red Seal journeyman carpenter. Matthew returned to Thunder Bay with his young family, where he secured several contracts with homeowners and applied his carpentry skills to construct residential properties. He has also worked with several local businesses, including The Foundry, Naxos Grill, and The Bean Fiend. Matthew's most notable accomplishment to date is securing a contract with Outlast Frames to build timber frame homes, and he and his crew have constructed 5 custom timber frame homes. His relationship with Outlast Frames continues, and they still have a great working relationship. Matthew has gained a strong reputation and his business has achieved great success. Matthew attributes much of the quality work to having a strong crew who continues to do immaculate work for their clients. M Squared Carpentry sets their goals and aspirations high and continue to achieve them. Matthew, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here tonight. First off, I'd like to thank NADF for having such an award. I had no idea. This kind of just came out of nowhere, and it was perfect timing for the company and for my crew. It's really going to help us out big time. All of you here tonight for coming out and making this all possible. All the sponsors, my sponsor, my family, my crew. This isn't just about me. I'd like to thank Port River First Nations for allowing us to have this event here on the land. All the people in my career that have helped me. I've been to Nunavut, to Alberta, Ontario, and every step of the way, there's my journeyman, whoever it was, project managers have always been there to help me, to get me where I am today. So there's a lot of people involved with me standing here today talking with you. So thank you very much for this award, and we're looking forward to see you again next year, and maybe we'll put another one on the shelf. That's great. Thank you very much.
Youth Entrepreneur of the Year. Well done, sir. Well done. I like that attitude. We'll see you next year as I win again for the second year in a row. I dig it. I dig it. I one day hope to win or even be nominated. It'd be nice. Come on, eh? Okay, here we go. Next award. The next award is the Businesswoman of the Year award. And of course, this is sponsored by our good friends at Nishnawbe Aski Nation Development Fund. Arlene, will you please join me on stage? I like this. I like this a lot. I like this. Recently highlighted in National Post as one of Canada's top food stops. Titled Roadside Satisfied. 6 cross-country food stops worth pulling over for. Kukum's Bannock Shack, where tasty fried bread on a menu at Dryden's restaurant. Owners Bruce Dowswell and Josie Rassicott are from Eagle Lake and Lac-de-Mille-Lac First Nations. I'm Cree, okay? Give me a break, I'm Cree. It's Nishnawbe. I have no problem saying Moose Factory. Having been truck driving for 10 years, the couple took a camper and made it into a kitchen on wheels and officially opened for business May 9th, 2012 as Kukum's Bannock Shack. The entire menu consists of mouth-watering dishes made of bannock, from bannock dogs to deep-fried Mars bars wrapped in bannock, and famous moose balls, which is a little uncomfortable saying, but that's okay, because balls are beautiful. Moose balls are bite-sized, deep-fried bannock balls sprinkled with cinnamon and sugar and topped with homemade caramel sauce. Let's give it up for the balls. Come on! Each mouth-watering bite. The savory treats will make you happy you pulled over. Nearing the end of the second successful summer in business and equipped with 2 shacks, open a permanent location in Golden Miles Plaza in Dryden with 60-seat restaurant. Kukum's Bannock Shack shares success has been featured on CBC Radio, CBC News, Dryden Observer, CKDR, Dryden, Q104, Kenora, Red Lake Newspaper, and also winner of the 2014 Dryden Chamber of Commerce 17th Annual Business Excellence Award, New Business Excellence. Let's give it up for the winner of the Businesswoman of the Year, Kukum's Bannock Shack! I paid my dues time after time. I'm sorry. Why don't they? Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I'm very nervous and I'm not very good at this. I'm very honored to be here and to accept the award. I really want to thank some people. I'd like to first of all thank my husband for standing behind me and our staff, which they nicknamed me Chef Ramsay. But they love me. I love them. I just want to say, yeah, thanks to family, thanks to all our customers. It's been quite the ride. We just started out with a little shack. Now we're a full restaurant in Dryden, very successful restaurant. I wanted to, I'm trying to read off a paper here and I don't even know where I am. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to my husband and my children. My children are working for us as well. A lot of our family works for us. We're very, very much family ran. Our staff as well. Our staff is not only do they work for us, we all became a family. We're all very, very close. And like I said, yeah, I'm pretty much stuck at this, I think. I'm glad this only happens once in a while here. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for the customers, thank you for the award, thank NADF for giving us the award, and advice. I mean, dream big. We're not done yet. We hope to be all across Canada one day, and we will be.
Dreaming big. It's one big moose ball, huh? Let's give it one more time for the Bannock Shack. Hoopin' style. Nice hugs over there. Well done. Excellent. Feels good, huh? Feels good. I want to thank you. We're getting there. We've got a couple awards left. I want to thank you so much for just not eating and leaving, and just for hanging out and applauding and encouraging business development, entrepreneurship. So well done. Thank you so much. We're going to move on. We've got a couple awards to go here. But I'd like to call upon Bearskin Airlines, Chimigwech Bearskin Airlines. Brad Martin is going to come forward for Bearskin Airlines, and he's going to present the Businessman of the Year. Brad.
Good evening. Bearskin Airlines is proud to be a major sponsor of the Nishnawbe Aski Nation, Niska Development Fund Business Awards for the 24th consecutive year. We take pride in the fact that our company was born in the North and continues to serve the North, providing air service to small cities that are important to our business customers who choose to live and work in the North. Our support from the inception of these awards is related to the commitment of supporting the development of Aboriginal businesses throughout Northern Ontario and the cities we serve. We understand that our business has grown and prospered with the support of our customers, and our First Nation customers have been amongst our most loyal supporters since 1963. Thank you for that support. The NADF Business Awards has evolved considerably since their humble beginnings, but all along have contributed to business development in the NAN territory. Bearskin Airlines has also evolved considerably, but we have never lost sight of our role in serving the transportation needs of the business community. from 5 flights daily between Thunder Bay, Sioux Lookout, and service to Northern Ontario's 5 largest cities. There's no faster, more efficient way to travel between the cities we serve. On behalf of everyone at Bearskin Airlines, I would like to thank you for your past and continued support. I would like to congratulate the nominees and the recipients of the awards today. And I'm especially proud to present the Businessman Award to Jason Thompson. A member of the Red Rock Indian Band, Jason Thompson is a co-owner and operator of Superior Strategies, First Nation owned, that offers quality management, consulting, and training services. Superior Strategies specializes in the delivery of successful project management, human resources, business, and economic development solutions. Superior Strategies provides these services to a variety of different sectors operating in Northern Ontario, including corporations, government business, not-for-profit entities, and First Nations and Aboriginal organizations. With over 17 years of business and management experience, Jason is a skilled executive, visionary entrepreneur, and an adroit troubleshooter. He has had the opportunity to work with some of the most advanced businesses in the forest and construction industry, and has spent time in the public arena, serving 3 terms on band council. These work experiences have allowed Jason to broaden his skills, which he applies to his business. Always demonstrating strong leadership skills throughout his career, Jason realized the importance of building and maintaining a successful team. This was most evident when his team played a role in the startup of a new sawmill complex on the Fort William First Nation. Never settling, collaborative, out-of-the-box thinker are a few adjectives that can be used to describe Jason. His commitment to continuous improvement and superior performance are second to none. Please join me on congratulating Jason Thompson on this award.
Well, thank you very much. I am definitely honored by the award. My wife often uses a couple of different adjectives in talking about me, but I won't tell you what those are. I'd like to thank NADF for the recognition. It truly did come as a surprise, and I am quite honored. I'd like to thank Bearskin Airlines for the sponsorship, as well as all the other sponsors out there. To be totally honest with you, this is a lot larger than I thought, and my knees are knocking. I'd like to thank the NADF staff for all their hard work. I noticed over the last couple of days with the Mining Ready Summit, they've been running non-stop, and they're still going. So thank you very much, ladies. Excellent job. I'd like to thank and congratulate the other award winners. Good job. Very inspirational. That's one of the things that drive me every day is I want to see First Nations create more opportunity and be entrepreneurs, because that success is inspiring for me as a First Nation person, and it's going to inspire our youth. Also the nominees, there's others that were nominated, they're not here tonight, or maybe they are here tonight, but again, you've taken that challenge, you've taken that risk, you are a business owner, and I congratulate you on that. I'd like to thank my family, my wife, Tara, my mother and father-in-law for making the trip from Nippigan up here. Without them and their sacrifices, it would definitely be a lot harder than what it is. It is hard. My business partner, Johnny Walker, and his wife, Stephanie Walker, I'd like to thank them. I love Johnny. The Superior Strategies team, it's only just begun for us, I'll tell you that. Let's give you a little insight. We have Superior Strategies, which is our health and safety project management team. We also have Aqua Energy Services, which we are growing, and keep an ear out for that one. I'd like to thank Net News Ledger for streaming this live to my family and friends back home. Awesome. Thank you. Our business is based on the principles of continuous improvement, building capacities within the communities. I honestly believe that as consultants, the consultants shouldn't be going there and staying there every day and coming back. Let's help the communities build capacity so that we don't need to pay the outsiders to come in. We can do it ourselves. That's ultimately truly what I believe. And again, it's creating opportunities. They're there. We can run these businesses. We can operate these businesses. There's no reason why you can't. And, if I can help you in any way, by all means, I got my business cards, give me a call. I'll help you where I can. And what our motto is, our success is only achieved when our customers achieve success. I think that's important, right? So it's about, we want to achieve and understand your expectations. And, that's when success is achieved. So thank you very much. And again, I appreciate the award.
Jason, right on. Let's give it up for Jason one more time. Saw a bunch of people in the crowd when you mentioned your partner Johnny Walker. A bunch of guys went over. Start quoting. What's that dude? Yeah, Thorgood, right? Yeah, George Thorgood. Okay, right on. Thinking out of the box. I love that. Throw that box away, man. Throw it away. Come on. Throw that box away. We're good to go. We got one more award tonight. And I know it's hard to say goodbye, but we got one more award. I'd like to call upon again from NADF, once again, might as well just consider my co-host this evening, Arlene Mikas Young, the chair of the board. Let's give it up one more time for Arlene. Come on.
The Executive of the Year award is for an organization, and it's a fairly new award. So on behalf of NADF, I'd just like to present this award to Darlene Anjkaneb. Darlene has worked for 15 years with Equewak since 1999 as a project leader for the Nishnawbe Women in Self-Government Project. She empowers women of the remote northern communities by facilitating workshops on self-government, starting women's groups, family violence, and leadership. Having successfully expanded Aboriginal women's political participation to the regional level for the women of 49 Nishnawbe Aski Nation communities who are now represented at the NAN Chiefs meetings through the formation of the NAN Women's Council. She was instrumental in the work to increase women's participation, self-government, and governance. And an honorable mention award from the Ontario Federal Council, OFC, was presented to Equewak in June 2005 for recognition of the accomplishments of the Nishnawbe Women in Self-Government Program. The goal of the Building Aboriginal Women's Leadership Project is to increase the number of Aboriginal women in leadership positions. Darlene is currently a mentor for Aboriginal women with Paro Centre Women for Women's Enterprise, a member of Coalition for Healing and Reconciliation in Indian residential schools in Sulakaut. Darlene also donates to the Second Chance Pet Network and to the Sulakaut Out of the Cold Shelter. Darlene was also a judge for the Juno Awards in 2012 for the Aboriginal music category. Since 2006, Darlene was employed as a project coordinator for Equewak's Women in Leadership Project and a proposal writer. Since February 2014, Darlene has been the acting director for Equewak. Darlene has overcome many challenges such as the relocation program, residential school, and is still able to show leadership through her work and accomplishments. Please join me in congratulating Darlene Anjkaneb.
Bonjour, good evening.
such an honor to be here amongst you great people. Yay! I would like to thank Sandra Williams for nominating me. She works at NADF, and she used to be a director of Equiwok, so she knows the challenges we face as a women's group. Sandra, stand up. Thank you to the Nishnawbe Aski Development Fund for providing me with this award. As many of you know, Equiwok is an independent women's group serving 31 remote First Nations in northwestern Ontario. And being an independent women's group means we do not belong to the provincial or national women's organizations. This means we do not receive core funding and presents some difficulty operating as an organization. So we have little monies for administration. So just to let you know, we do accept donations. And this is great because this is a business gathering. So I'm hoping you'll dig deep sometime. Okay, so Equiwok's been in operation since 1989, and this year we've been celebrating our 25th year as an organization. I'm cutting my notes short. I'm happy to accept this award. And I'm reminded of women who began the organization long ago. And accepting this award as an executive in a business setting, I wasn't sure about that kind of, being in that kind of environment, because we're mostly concerned with social issues. Getting an award just means I have to work harder. So thank you.
I like that, huh? Putting a little bit of pressure on herself. But tonight, we owe her a huge round of applause for the work she does. Right on. Most of us in the room did not receive an award tonight. I didn't receive an award tonight. But I feel good. I feel like I got something in return. I feel happy. I feel like I'm a part of something very special. When people come up and very, very heartfelt are touched by your generosity, by being here, it feels good. If you did not receive an award tonight, I want you to stand up. And I want you to give a huge round of applause for all the winners. Come on, get up. Let's go. As my dad would say, he's a minister, you may be seated. He would say that. He would. Now it's time, of course, to have a huge shout out to all of our sponsors this evening. I would like to individually call all of our sponsors up, starting with the bronze level. I'd like to call upon Lakehead University. They're getting ready for class tomorrow. Thunder Bay Community Economic Development Commission. They are working at the speed of business. Wawate Communication Society. Rick, come on, man. Check out that helmet. Safety first at Wawate Communications. Shout Media. Shout Media, you here? That was good. Really good. Cheetos LLP. MNP LLP. Let's thank our bronze sponsors one more time. Come on, give it up. Silver sponsors. TD Bank. Are you here, TD? Right here. Thank you, TD. De Beers Canada. Wheeler, Maloney, Nelson. There we go. Thank you. Thank you again to our silver sponsors. Now for our gold sponsor, Hydro One Networks, Inc. Thank you. Thank you. Let's give a round for the gold sponsor, huh? Diamond sponsor, K-Corp. Woo! Thank you. Again, our diamond sponsor. Come on, let's go. Right on. Nancy Wood. It's her birthday. We're going to do this my way. And whenever I do this, you're going to say, to you. Check this out. And say it. Hey, get off your Facebook, man. Look here. Unbelievable. So let's try this out. Okay, so when I duck my head, you're going to say to you. You ready? 1, 2, 3. To you. Perfect.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Nancy. Get out your tickets. If you're wondering what the tickets are, you don't have one. So don't worry about it. On your tickets, there should be a number, and the corresponding number is on the opposite side, which was torn off, which is in here. Got it? Okay. We do have door prizes. Gonna be? Okay, good. Here we go. I'm only gonna read the numbers once. 039. How many do we have? Right over here. Come on up. Proof of ID is required. Or a status card. 139. Bingo! Oh! Cultural relevance in the background. Thank you, Brian. 033. Oh, okay. 127. Oh, right up front. No one's happy for you. Guilted into it, huh? 137. It's nice to see someone genuinely happy to receive a prize, huh? Usually people are kind of too cool. 113. We got close, we're close. Right over here, nice and quiet. How many more? 2 more. Zero, 3, 1. Over here. What's the prize? My hair. There you go, man. Take care of it. One more. 014. Up next, I'm really, really honored to call upon Helen Cromarty from the Dennis Franklin Cromarty Memorial Fund. Helen.
It's great to be back here again, and as usual, I'm up here with my little shadow. Her name is Anne Jordan McDougall, my granddaughter. Her given name is Kaudapinaganoj Chiniganich. She was chosen to lead, and she is working on that. She started. She had started since she was about 4, giving the donations to the 2 high schools. So she's well on her way. But I want to thank everybody again, and I know every year I come up and thank you. There are years when I wasn't able to come. Now I'm retired and I have all the time to come and talk to you. But usually at the end of the evening, it gets quite late. But what I wanted to do is, since the program started, you have funded 193 students, and this year we hope to be hitting 200. We do have 2 of the students in the crowd right now at our table. We have one is a nursing student. She has completed her nursing, and she will have to write her RN exams. Evangeline King, would you stand up, please? And the other student is Pamela Angies. She's in kinesiology at Lakehead University. Congratulations. But over the years, with the funds that you have generously provided, you have provided funding to PhDs, doctors, lawyers, social work, linguists, So you should be very proud of yourself for the accomplishments you have made, that you have helped the First Nations. The other thing I wanted to tell you is, it's been 21 years since Dennis left us, and that's a lot to achieve, especially when it's so difficult these days and very hard for students to lead their communities to get a post-secondary education. What I wanted to do was just tell you a brief story about why I have been supporting this, why I have been involved with the education. This past year, I retired from nursing after 45 years, and it wasn't easy getting to nursing. Spending 11 years in residential school, almost, or I shouldn't say almost, but hardly ever getting home to Satchko. To me, Satchko is still the center of the universe. But in all the years of going to school, there were times when I felt so separated. I felt so alone. But there was that opportunity presented to me, and I took it. Years later, I found out that Dennis was doing the same thing. We found out that the families we had been warded to in Sault Ste. Marie actually became our families, where we learned that education was important, where we learned to finally become a member of a family. I was 5 years old when I left my family. But the other strength that both of us had was being alone. We developed that into a strength. And the hardest part was getting any money to live on. I went into nursing in 65, and all of the students within the nursing school, I'm of the old school where the nursing schools were of the hospitals. And we were given an allowance of $15 a month. How many of you can live on $15 a month now? Can you live on $15 a week? A day, Ron? No? It was very difficult, but that's what we had, and again, all of us took that opportunity. So when you think about the 193 students you have provided with, we give them a lot more than $15 a month. And the stories that have come back, the letters that they've written. When I was in Sioux Lookout, one of the parents came up to me and said, "Are you Helen Cromarty?" And I said, "Yeah." And she started to cry. She said, "You gave money to my daughter this year for her education. She was so broke, she couldn't pay her hydro." She said, "I had used up my money helping her pay hydro, and I in turn didn't pay my hydro. So when that money came, she paid for both our hydro, and that got us through Christmas into the new year." So there are many heartfelt stories that have come back. And a lot of them, like I said, the achievements that they have made, it's those things that you have to remember. And I have to thank you again, and I want to convey my heartfelt congratulations to all the recipients. And of course to all the students. And I think we'll come out begging again with our hands, because we have to work on the funding for their new residents. Thank you so much for coming every year. You're great people, very great, and I sincerely appreciate that.
Such beauty and such grace, huh? Come on, one more time. Especially when she looks at me and says, "Sexy shoes." Especially. And I really, really, really love what they're doing with Anne. and they're nurturing her for greatness. And it's not a new thing what they're doing, but it's new to this generation. It's what they used to do a long time ago. Take young people and nurture them for greatness. So we're kind of reviving an old way that has always worked. I look forward to running into you when you get a little older, Anne, even tomorrow or the next day. And like I was telling the kids today, I went to the DFC today, Dennis Franklin Cromartie School, and I had a 1 hour session with the kids in the gym, and we talked about stuff. And one of the things I talked about with the students is I talked about greatness. And I was telling the students that they're going to be the greatest generation. And I told these students that if you're not fulfill that dream of being great, I blame myself. And if these young people don't grow up like Anne to be great, we have to blame ourselves because we didn't do enough to set these young people up for success. We didn't share enough. We didn't tell stories enough. We didn't hold them enough. We didn't love them enough. So with a sense of power that we have, what do? On our last breath, we give it all away. So on our last breath, we can honestly say, I've given everything away. What has made me so rich has made me so poor. What has made me so powerful has made me so weak. That everything that I have had now belongs to Anne. Now belongs to our children. Challenge you to start giving it all away. And start setting up little people like Anne up for success. So they can be the greatest generation in the history of the world. Anne's generation will change the world. Anne's generation will be the breath that we've been waiting for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Anne's generation will be a healing, spiritual generation. But Anne won't do it alone. Anne needs you. Anne needs everybody. And why do we do it? Because we're talking about humanity. And you and I are not very far off. You and I are within the same circle. You and I have a lot more things in common because we stand together. Today, I stood in front of young people that have been marginalized and hurt, but people left with so much hope. And when we think about these young people and all the pain that they've endured, we can't help but be so encouraged. We can't help by these young people's resilience because they still come out of their communities wanting to be better. They come to the community like this, and it's hard, it's scary. They want to learn. And these young people deserve a round of applause. So I pledge to do what I can to help that generation become the great generation. I said this earlier, but when my uncle passed away, Uncle Stan, Dr. Stan Ludit, the Grand Chief, they hailed him as the greatest leader. And if they're still hailing him as the greatest leader in 50 years, he'd be very upset with us. Because the greatest leaders are yet to emerge. And the greatest leaders are on their way. And it's our responsibility to fulfill that sacred, sacred commitment. So by doing stuff like this and sitting in this room and applauding and being generous with our funding and being generous with our time, that stuff is so, so important. But don't forget that these young people need a little bit more than people in the room. These young people need a little bit more of your time. These young people need a little bit more of your resources. Today, when I was at DFC, I got reminded of some of the initiatives that they want to do. So I encourage you to bring out to hold your Blackberries. And I want you to open up your calendar. I want you to mark this date because this date's really, really important. This is a really, really important date. But it's November 26, 2014. I want you to mark that in your calendar. And I want you to take that very, very seriously. And what they're doing on this date is they're having a silent auction and they need items to auction off. And with the much needed money that they're going to raise from that silent auction, they're going to be put to an exciting, absolutely incredible realization of the First Nations Trade High School, which I believe, Sharon, will be attached to DFC, correct? Will be attached to DFC. So I encourage you, put that in your calendar, and I challenge you to give something, to give what you can, and help these kids fulfill their dream of providing dignified work and being a part of the economy, and training these kids to feel good about who they are. Challenge you. The deadline for your sponsorship will be the 25th of November. And contact Sharon's in the back. Sharon, if you can just put your hand up, and if you can stand up, please. Sharon, she's the vice principal over there at DFC. Let's welcome her, guys. And Sharon, don't run away, because at the end of the evening, if you're interested in donating whatever you can talk to Sharon. Is that okay, Sharon? Okay, awesome. So, how's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? Excellent. Anne, so proud of you. Who's proud of Anne? Who's proud of Anne? So adorable, so adorable. I'm going to call upon a few more people to close off this shindig. And what an awesome night it's been. I'd like to call upon, once again, the chair of NADF. I'd like to call upon Arlene Young. Arlene Young, people!
Thank you all for coming. Every year, I feel the energy in the awards, and it's like it gives me the vision to keep on going with the development socially and economically in my community. So on behalf of the board's management and staff, I'd just really like to thank you all for coming out.
I'm going to call upon my cousin here for a sec, but just a second, Brian. I want to make one quick announcement to all of our sponsors and winners tonight. Before you leave, you're going to come around the corner here and head over to the booth, the NADF booth, and it's so important that we capture your likeness on film, so we can, of course, put it in our calendar and make a calendar and make money off you. So that's really important. So that's really important. So please, take your hardware, bring your smiles, and come on over. And even if you're not a sponsor or a winner, just come on over and make faces, and let's have some fun. Okay, so I'd like to call upon the Executive Director of NADF, Brian Davey. Brian.
Thank you very much. I'd like to just close by also thanking one of the greatest MCs that I ever worked with, and if I can, I forgot to bring the bag up. And it's a new set of hair, it's blonde. San, if you can come up here and accept this on behalf of the board and the staff. Give him a big warm. He did an excellent job tonight, fantastic job, didn't he? With that, I'd like to wish you a good sleep and spend a little time and network a little bit. And I just also wanted to mention the three members of our board that are not here this evening that are members but not directors, and that's Lillian Shikwanika and also Russell Wesley and our great own Mr. Travis Busno, who's sitting over here. So with that, I'll end, and good night. See you all again next year.